Okay, so here's the final example for section 4.5. And this is the type that generally I would include on a test because it covers all of the asymptotes. See, the way I phrase this one is find all asymptotes of any of the given function. So I like to do vertical asymptotes first. You can do horizontal first if you want. It doesn't matter to me which order you go in. But we're going to start with vertical asymptotes just because that's my preference. So with vertical asymptotes, remember the first step is to try to reduce the function. So on this one, I've given you two polynomials that can be factored. So the numerator was x squared minus 9. That can factor into x plus 3 times x minus 3. The denominator was x squared plus 4x minus 21. That's going to factor into x plus 7 times x minus 3. After you factor, you reduce, if possible. In this one, we reduce it down to x plus 3 over x plus 7, which then allows us to write the vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote is going to be x equals negative 7. And again, if your calculator helps you visualize it, go ahead and type it in. Just make sure you use parentheses around your numerator and denominator. So that's the vertical asymptote. The horizontal asymptote goes back to looking at degrees. So we're going to look at the degree of the numerator. The degree of the numerator is second degree. The degree of the denominator is also second degree. So this is going to fall into the first category, the first type of horizontal asymptote. And again, they're second degree just because of the exponents. Highest degree exponent gives you the degree of the polynomial. So for the horizontal asymptotes, I guess there's just one in this case, the horizontal asymptote falls into that first rule, and that's when the degree of the numerator is the same as the degree of the denominator. So what you do is you go back and you take the leading coefficients of the numerator and denominator. So the leading coefficients of the leading coefficient of the numerator is a 1. Leading coefficient of the denominator is also a 1. So our horizontal asymptote is 1 over 1. And again, I would accept that, but it would be better if you just wrote y equals 1. So this one, like I said, is going to be more like what I would ask on an exam. I just ask you to find all the asymptotes. Just remember we're skipping oblique asymptotes. This one doesn't have an oblique asymptote anyway, so all I'm asking you to think about is finding vertical asymptotes and horizontal asymptotes.